How is everyone doing today? And in this video we are going to be talking about, especially with how we have Acheron's rerun coming out. I know a lot of people are questioning the value, or I guess you could say the investment potential for your account, specifically when it comes to not only Acheron coming out as a rerun, because that is a pretty big one, including with Rappa and also aventurine and all of them. Of course, we'll be talking about each and every single one of them in their own video. I've already talked about Rappa. We're going to be talking about Acheron in this one, and then eventually get his own video. But realistically, in this video, I do want to talk about, for this patch specifically, when talking about Acheron, that Acheron's a part of a set of characters that I would say is basically there for multiple territory, and there's going to be a reason why, and I'm basically going to explain in this video. So in this video, we're going to be looking at 4 specific characters that I think in this game right now are technically super characters. I don't consider these guys anywhere near the normal units in the game, just because of how strong they are, the utility they may have, or possibly the power that they are able to do when it comes to bringing out an archetype to its best possible form, or being able to just overwrite the normal rules of the game and basically breaking everything that you could possibly do with those characters on the team. So realistically, looking at Acheron, especially with the rerun coming very soon, in the second half of the patch, a lot of people are wondering if Acheron's worth it. Is Acheron getting to get power crept in the future? And of course, I do think eventually every character, after a certain amount of time, whether it be 4 patches of generations later down the line, maybe, yes, these characters might be power crept. It's an eventual worry of a lot of the units in the game, but these 4 characters specifically that I'm going to be naming right now are realistically going to be lasting for much longer than the whole entire cast that we have in the game. And these 4 characters do include Acheron within it, just because of what we know of her ultimate, which doesn't take any energy, as many of these characters may have. When you look at their ultimate, they take a certain amount of energy, and it takes a certain amount of actions, it takes a certain amount of kills for a certain amount of enemies to come out and basically die to these allies, or amount of turns to happen from using their skills, using their basic attacks, where they're going to be able to have enough to actually use their ultimate. While characters like Acheron, she doesn't have energy. She doesn't have this mechanic in any way, shape, or form, a foundational standpoint in the combat of Honkai Star Rail, that we are looking at a whole different way to get energy, a whole different way to get your ultimate, and that is by building the team around them. And with this ability of having to build a team around this character, or having the team basically do all of what they can to be able to funnel all of their resources into this one character to get all of the stuff done, is going to give you some monumental boost in the output that you're going to be putting out. Because now we have a character like Acheron where she gets points for her ultimate if the enemy gets debuffed. That means 2 things. One, that from a lot of the characters that are already out in the nihility path, a lot of the characters that are out in the game at the current moment, any debuff is going to be helping her get energy, something that nobody else can do. When it comes to any character in the game at the current moment, when it comes to, let's say, Jingliu, Himiko, Topaz, Jiaosho, no one else on the team besides people that give energy like Tingyun and REHOO are able to give them more energy off their turn. Characters like Acheron are able to get energy off turn because they're able to get these points whenever someone gets a debuff. So if we have a team of something like Kafka and Black Swan, every time these guys take their turn, that's 1 extra stack. Not only that, when you have someone like Kafka who's able to apply a debuff on follow-up, that means that's 3 stacks that these characters could possibly give, including Acheron's own stack, which means she already has half her ultimate by the time everybody takes their action, making it super quick for them to get their own ultimate out. And that doesn't include their ultimates as well. That's another 2 stacks, one coming from Kafka's ultimate and another coming from Black Swan's ultimate. And not only considering that with all these debuffs, a lot of these usually reduce defense, a lot of these usually reduce a lot of resistances, which make, of course, Acheron's damage skyrocket, which in whole makes the team very synergistic. This is why it's super strong to have a character that doesn't have energy and works around the team, because no other character can give energy besides REHOO and Tingyun to most other characters, while someone like Acheron, with whatever character comes out in the future, maybe like, let's say, Nihility with Tingyun coming out as a 5-star, that's another potential teammate for Acheron. Anybody in the future who is able to give debuffs is allowed to basically be a part of the Acheron team, because all you need to do is apply debuffs and apply them quick, and you basically are a perma teammate for someone like Acheron. The similar way we've had Kafka and Black Swan be a really good team with Acheron. We've had Silver Wolf and Pella with their hyper carry nature of an Acheron team. We now have a brand new support for Acheron with Gel Show, making it a lot easier to get these stacks, allowing enemies to attack and get those stacks off because they get debuffed every time they attack. Really good stuff to come out of characters that don't have energy and are, what I'm going to say, is labeled as a super DPS. I put the similar fashion or similar tag on someone like Feixiao, because Feixiao is also a character I would put in that kind of must pull territory, just because of her ultimate as well, such as Acheron, where she works around the team. Any person that's able to attack quickly, any character that has a follow-up mechanic, is able to stack up these flying Arius points, allowing her to do her ultimate, allowing your team to do damage. And it's a pretty big benefit and a pretty big boost in damage when you're not having to worry about that character specifically building up their own energy, because now you have the whole team doing it. When you have characters like Aventurine, Topaz, when you have characters like Robin, all these characters helping you out with getting extra damage, helping you get out extra support with Aventurine's crit boost, with Robin's plethora of boosts, and then you have Topaz's boost with her follow-ups and her non-stop follow-up attacking as well. You're getting a crap ton of points off of Feixiao. So characters like Acheron and Feixiao are definitely going to be the must pulls of the DPS at the current moment. These guys are going to stand a little bit longer than way more of the roster, even characters that are potentially going to be coming out in the future, just because they have these mechanics within them. I do expect us to get more of these type of characters as the time goes by. I do think eventually Dot will get their super leader, because realistically I don't think Acheron's that. I think Acheron has her own niche in Nihility hyper carry in a way, or basically heading the Nihility path. I do think eventually we're going to get more units in the future that are going to cater towards a different archetype. Maybe we will have a break super leader, which we don't have at the current moment. We only have Acheron and we only have Feixiao that are this unique with what they're able to do, and being able to spearhead a whole archetype, with Feixiao being follow-up and more so with Acheron just being a debuff team leader for the most part, which I think is a really cool thing that we do have. So realistically, looking at Acheron, yeah, she's pretty much worth it when it comes to looking at the super characters in the game, or more so the super DPSs. And to finish off the video, I do want to talk about quickly the other two characters that I do think have the super tag on them, because like I said, these characters realistically aren't on the same tier as most of these units in the game. Ruame is definitely one of them. Any team you slap Ruame on, she's almost universal for the most part, can work on any team, is able to give everybody a plethora of boosts when it comes to the break damage, when it comes to delay, when it comes to extra damage boost, toughness efficiency. Every single aspect of Ruame's kit buffs up your characters like an insane amount, gives you speed just for existing. There's just so much that she's able to give you, that she is by far, of course, one of the super supports that we've been talking about for a very long time. And not only that, Robin as well. Robin has, funny enough, went from being a regular support to being someone that a lot of people were not paying attention to, and now being into the realm of super support, because not only with all of her boosts that she has from her ultimate, from her skill, from her talent, all that different type of stuff, the ticks that she's able to do within her ultimate, with everybody doing their own sort of damage, with now healers hitting for like 40k, because Robin's going to add on that extra 35k on top of whatever hits that you do, which is not limited to just attacks. It can go to follow-ups. Yeah, Robin is pretty strong in that fact too. So she and Robin are basically, or Ruame and Robin are basically so far up in the support chain that I can't wait to see what we're going to see with Sunday, with what he's going to bring. Is he going to be another support? Is he going to be someone that is going to bring up an archetype? Or is he going to be a super support to the point where he's just as broken as her sister, for the most part, his sister, and Ruame, which I cannot wait to see. Realistically, I just wanted to make this video just talking about Acheron, but realistically talking about Acheron brings up a whole nother subject of why I think she's super future proof, why she has a lot of investment value, why she has a lot of potential in Starro, because she's, in my opinion, one of these super characters with how her kit works. And I kind of wanted to just explain what my reasoning was for the super characters with talking about the other characters that I do think fall within that realm of power, because Feixiao, Acheron definitely are different beings within the DPS category, the same way that Ruan, Mei, and Robin are. So I can't wait to see a lot more people pull for Acheron. I do think she's 100% worth it, especially with what's coming up in the future and what you could potentially pull for. Remember, we do still have time to wait when it comes to Acheron. We still need to get past Rappa, and also, who's the rerun? Oh, and Bibir Lune, which I do have a video talking about his rerun if you want to go watch that. And then also looking at the future characters coming out. When Acheron's a thing, we also still need to talk about aventurine because he's a pretty big pickup as well. And then not only that, Ting Yun and also Sunday will be coming out, and whatever reruns are going to be coming with them. So yes, there's a lot to think about, but you do have time, because remember, we are going to get the stream, we are going to get drip marketing, so we have a lot of time to think about Acheron, think about aventurine before it's too late. But other than that, thank you guys so much for watching all the way to the video. See y'all guys in the next one, and peace.